I was tagged in this post on Twitter, and this is another example of the us versus them society at work here. And I talk about that quite a bit on my channel in various videos when it comes to comparisons, and it's so blatantly obvious. It should be textbooked at this point, if many black people choose to use it, of course. This woman's name is Darcy Spangler, and she is a former mail carrier for USPS. And this heifer only got 2 years probation for selling cocaine out of the back of her USPS truck, her United States Postal Service truck. 2 years probation, not 2 years in jail, but 2 years probation. Let's think about that for a second. She sold a illegal controlled substance, an illegal substance, out of a federally owned piece of property and only got 2 years probation. I'm curious, what was the leniency like? Why did they give her the 2 years probation outside of the fact that she is a palm-colored woman? Because I'm curious what excuse they came up with why she only got 2 years. Had that been my black ass, I didn't even have to sell it out of a federally owned vehicle. It could have just been out of my house, and they could have had a sting operation on me, and I would have got way more than 2 years probation. But I haven't even read the article yet, but let me guess. She's a good member of society. She's too old, even though her age says that she's 52, and that's a struggling 52. She contributes to the bake sale. She was, I don't know, like parent of the year, whatever. I'm curious, but I don't know what the excuse is. Like I said, I haven't read the article yet, but we about to get into it. A former Ashtabula, and this is out of Ohio, area mail carrier who pled guilty to trafficking cocaine from her work vehicle was sentenced on Monday morning. Darcy Spangler avoided jail time when an Ashtabula County Common Pleas Court judge sentenced her to just 2 years probation. Investigators arrested the 53-year-old woman in December after it was discovered that she was selling drugs from her work vehicle along her mail route in Ashtabula. Spangler said she was thankful after being arrested because it forced her to confront issues of addiction and alcoholism. A spokesman for the U.S. Postal Service Office of the Inspector General provided a statement regarding Spangler's arrest. The vast majority of the U.S. Postal Service's 630,000 employees are hardworking, trustworthy individuals working around the clock to deliver the nation's mail. Unfortunately, a few of them decide to abuse that trust and engage in criminal activity. When they do, special agents in the U.S. Postal Service Office of Inspector General will work with our law enforcement partners such as the Crime Enforcement Agency of Ashtabula County in identifying and investigating those employees and seek their prosecution and removal from the Postal Service. Trafficking cocaine is a fourth-degree felony, according to the Ashtabula County judge. No wonder her so-called sentencing was so minuscule. Fourth-degree felony. But the fact of the matter is, she trafficked cocaine out of a federally owned vehicle while on the clock at that, and while delivering people's mail. What if that stuff spilled onto the mail? Then people would have had cocaine on their stuff, and then they would have been trying to figure out like where it came from. That could have set somebody else up who had no involvement with that. This woman was literally acting as a drug dealer. Notice they didn't call her that. They did not call her a drug dealer, and that's what she was. And she was worse because she was trafficking it out of the back of her work truck. Now, what if this was a black employee and they were dealing weed out of the back of their mail truck? They would have treated that person worse. And weed can't kill you. Cocaine can. It has. And it still continues to do so to this day. It all boils down to that this is a palm-colored woman and they felt sorry for her or whatever. And notice they only gave her probation. But at first I was getting ready to go off the deep end, but I had to read back again. It says former mail carrier, so she does no longer work there. But she only got probation which means once her probationary period is up, they can probably remove that from her record. And she might go work elsewhere. And they didn't even specify how long she's been doing this. She had been doing it for a while. Like, this woman was going on routes dealing drugs out of her truck. And all she got was a slap on the wrist. Literally a slap on the wrist and a little tap on a little light tap on the ass. 2 years probation. Meanwhile, you have black men in jail right now for years on top of years for weed, for marijuana. While these corporations out here can make millions, maybe even billions off of the same damn product. It's crazy. I bet you they won't let them out of jail now that weed is legal in many states. At least the distribution of it. But hey, they had to keep them prisons filled up some way. She got a 4th degree. Y'all let me know what y'all think.